Glad I shaved my armpits for this.
I didn't. Yesterday, though, it's not bad.
Yeah, no, that's okay.
Just a little bit.
Merry Christmas. All right, everyone, welcome back to Rewired and Desired podcast, where intimacy, mindset, and disability intersect. Did you see I had to think about that for a minute? I'm
Yeah.
like, what the? When I
You're
speak
on
right
the spot. Put on the spot.
put on the spot. Yeah, remember. Today's episode, we are going to be talking about self-talk and our subconscious beliefs. And I really love this because something that's I found has worked tenfold for me in just my healing and overall like being as a person. So, super excited to get started in this one. I am Nicole Richards, and we also have my co-host here, Trina Ricketts, the intimate ostomate, looking very festive in our festivity
Oh, yeah. Look, I'm wearing a
outfits.
skirt too. You just can't see it.
Yeah, let's check it out. Beautiful.
It's sequins.
It looks great. I love it. I love it.
Thank you.
I don't have bottoms on, so I'm not going to show my bottoms. So, I mean, no, I have bottoms on. I just
You just don't have Christmassy bottoms
I
on?
don't have Christmassy bottoms.
That's hilarious. I'm like, she's doing the podcast the real naughty way. Santa, you got to put Nicole on your naughty list
Oh
this
my
year.
gosh. Sometimes I just make myself laugh. I don't know where I get this from. Like, hello.
That's
Yes, I'm
hilarious.
wearing pants. Okay, you guys? Maybe not underwear, but pants. Okay.
Christmas episode. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas, Feliz Navidad.
Yes.
So,
Exciting.
getting into self-talk, right?
Mm.
Um, you know, my first question to everybody is like, why do we think self-talk, plays a role in like on in our inner dialogue? And it does, like, it's constantly running, it's constantly moving in the background, and it's
Mhm.
constantly keeping us in this unconscious state of not being able to connect to like yeah our true emotions. It's like what everybody else is telling you. It's what you've heard. It's what you've thought about things your whole life because it's what you've been told.
It's the constant chatter. I think the biggest thing is that most of us, and it's so strange because it seems like something that everyone should be taught as a child, but myself included, most of us were never taught and never learned that actually our emotions don't have to control us
Yeah. Yeah.
and that we can control our emotions. You know, in Stoicism, they say, like, everyone has an animal instinct. Humans
Mm-hmm.
are just like animals. We have an instant reaction to
Mm-hmm.
something, a stimulus, a threat in our environment. And for humans, those threats can be very diverse. It could be like
Sure.
seeing your partner talk to someone of the opposite sex or of the same sex, depending on their
Yeah.
orientation. But seeing them talk to someone else, and we get that
Mm.
fear of losing
Mm.
them, or it could be
Mm-hmm.
the fear of somebody hurting your child.
Yeah.
And so you have this instant instinctual reaction. And what we all, most of us have done all our lives is just that's our reaction,
Yeah.
and we think that's how we feel, and then we just let it spiral from there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the difference between humans and animals is that humans have a moment right there after our initial reaction where we can stop and not let ourselves spiral. And then we
Mm-hmm.
can use what we have that animals don't have,
Yeah.
which is a rational thinking mind.
Which is really hard.
It is. It is.
It
It takes
takes
practice.
it takes practice and a lot of work, and especially when you've been someone who was in bad relationships, medical trauma, all these things, right?
Mhm.
Like it's really hard to keep control of that because like it's it's such an unconscious state. It's an unconscious dialogue running, and it's so hard to rewire it. But it is able to. You're
Oh
able
yeah.
to rewire it.
Yeah. I mean, humans are the only living things that can control our emotions through our thoughts.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Instead of having our emotions create our thoughts, we have our thoughts create our emotions. And it is something that is hard to do when you've never learned to do it and you've always
Mm-hmm.
blamed everything and everyone else for how you feel.
Oh my
So,
gosh.
I wouldn't be so mad if you didn't do this to
Yes.
me. I wouldn't be
Yes.
so sick if the medical system didn't
Right.
injure me. Like that's
Right.
some one I used to have. So many things that I blamed on everyone else,
Hmm.
and it doesn't really matter who did what
Right.
or what's happened to
Right.
me because it's not going to change anything.
Hmm.
It's
Hmm.
not going to change what just happened. It's not going to change what might happen.
Yeah.
It has no control. We have no control over anything external.
Right.
We have no
Right.
control over like we can control our health to the extent that we can try to live healthy lives and eat
Yeah.
well and do what we need to heal our bodies as much as
Right.
possible. But we don't have control when everything goes south and we end up in
Right.
the hospital with ostomy
Yeah.
surgery, for
Yeah.
instance, you know?
Right. But it's when you're in those moments of how you handle it going forward. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
For instance, okay, years ago, I would be where I was in January when I got in my car accident. Years prior, all years prior, I would have been in a state of mind that said, why me? Why does
Mhm.
this shit keep happening to me? What did I do to deserve this?
Yeah.
I would get pissed at other people for not being there for me as much as I wanted them to be or needed them as well. I would be mad that the system was broke.
Mhm.
I would be mad that the hospital system was clearly broke.
I know, right?
I would have been mad at all these things. But I feel that in January 13th of 2025, I received my ultimate test of how well this limiting and subconscious beliefs have been shaped and molded for myself, how I shaped and molded my mind and how I restructured my mind.
Mhm.
Because when I was in that hospital, I didn't know if my back was broke, my neck was broke. I didn't know. I know I couldn't move, right?
Mhm.
And instead of saying all those things, those form that were formed in childhood, right? All the experiences, all the things I heard parents, family say, all the things you hear on TV, all the things you hear in the news and the media say, all the things that you heard, the organizations, the structures that you went to, school, churches, etc. All those things, they all shape your mind around how you grow up and how you think and feel and act. And instead, I said to myself and my guides around me, because I have a lot of them, that you can't see them, but they're here. I said, what do I need to know in this moment? What lesson do I need to learn? And I'm going
Mhm.
to tell you what, that reshaped my whole frame of mind. Now, don't think for a minute I didn't go back to those subconscious beliefs during the course of my injury.
Oh yeah.
Couple months into it, I thought I remember being pissed. I was pissed at this, pissed at that for a little while.
Yeah.
But you get through it. You get
Yeah.
through it. And
You didn't
it's
stay there. That's the point.
you don't stay there.
Yeah.
Yes.
You don't live there. You don't
Mm-hmm.
live in your pain, disappointment, heartbreak. You don't
Yep.
live there. You
Yep.
actually distract yourself when you
Yep.
when you go too deep into it.
Yep.
Like you can't let yourself just spiral and just
Yep.
keep focusing on like for me when I was sick for years it was I'm a burden. Who would want to be with me? Who could love this? Who would want a life like this?
Yeah.
Of going back and forth to the hospital and having to be a support system for this woman who can't stay well for very long. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Yeah. No, I get
which
that.
and the whole why me thing, that's another thing that I really felt Stoicism helped me with is Stoicism reminds us that we are all subject to the human condition. And
Mm,
as humans, we're going to go through things that humans go through, just like any other animal. Cats go through cat problems, dogs go through dog problems,
right,
and humans have human problems. And that means
right.
every possible thing that could happen to humans could happen to me. It could
Yeah,
happen to you. And so
yeah,
when instead of saying why me, it's better to say why not me? I'm
yeah,
human.
yeah,
Why not
yeah.
me? Why would it happen to someone else and not me? You know?
And
And
some of those things are the
yeah.
our greatest teachers.
Oh God, yes. Well,
The
I
what
mean,
you know?
we don't I feel like and I've had people get like pissy with me about this because um they say like people like to insult this whole fad they call it or this movement of being positive
Right,
when things are horrible.
right.
Fake positivity they call it.
Yep.
But I don't see it as fake positivity
Mm-hmm.
at
Mm-hmm.
all.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if we if we never went through hard shit, then we would
Mm-hmm.
never grow.
Yeah.
Like we are shaped through fire, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Like molded through fucking fire. Like we're
Right.
like someone's welding us. The universe is welding us and we become the best versions of ourselves through
Mm-hmm.
suffering and pain and
Yeah.
struggle.
Yeah.
And recognizing that it's not like it's my disease.
Mm-hmm.
It's not Crohn's isn't my disease.
Right.
When I
Right.
had a boyfriend cheat on me and give me an STI, that
Mm-hmm.
wasn't my disease.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
This isn't mine. It isn't yours. It's a part of the human condition. And
Yeah.
to realize that we aren't defined by
Mm-hmm.
our health issues, our sickness,
Mm-hmm.
or what it
Mm-hmm.
is that we're telling ourselves. For me, the big thing was I'm a burden. I'm a burden. I just felt like such a burden, and it was
Mm-hmm.
just the worst feeling ever. And I wanted to be single and out of my relationship because I would rather be sick and alone
Yeah.
be a burden. And I
Yeah.
do believe that it's better to learn how to be on your own than be in a toxic relationship when you're sick, because that's another thing. Like,
It just makes
self-talk,
you sicker.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's really hard to control your own self-talk when you have
Mm-hmm.
someone else outside of you talking shit to you,
100%.
you know?
That's why
Yeah.
there's times like it's super important to cut people off when
Yes.
you're going through things in your life, and you don't have to cut them off totally, but keeping them
Yeah.
aside because their subconscious beliefs are permeating your mind because
Yeah.
they're in the background, yippity yappity, yo.
And the whole energy thing that you talk about, like
Mm-hmm.
if you're in the energy of someone who's angry, upset, critical, judging
Mm-hmm.
you, hurting you in some way, even if they don't express it, you feel their energy. You'll
100%.
have their energy. You might have no idea the person's smiling and being nice to you and have no idea why you're feeling so sick in the
Yeah.
presence of that person.
Yeah.
But it's because that person is toxic and
Yeah.
they have bad energy. They're fucking with your own with your energy,
And
And like you need
yes,
when you're sick, you can't have that sick
right.
energy around you making you
Yeah.
sick.
Or even when you are working at that fake positivity,
Hmm.
like which I want to talk about that in a second, but even like they say when you're going through like trying to level up and get to a certain place in your life and like you have goals set, it's important that you don't share those goals with too many people
Yes,
because those people might be your biggest naysayers.
true.
And even if they're not in your presence and you're actively having a conversations with them, you don't know what they're yippy yappeting in the background about,
Mhm.
So it's best to keep a lot of more to yourself, and I think that's why people
Absolutely.
have coaches because it's hard when you sit there and talk to friends about some of these things and they have their own ideas and own beliefs of you because maybe you didn't follow through in the past, or maybe,
Yeah.
you didn't finish something, or you didn't something didn't go the way you said you thought it was going to go. So it's best sometimes to keep those things to yourself.
I agree 100% because the thing is people will project their own insecurities onto you. So if
Hmm.
somebody else like has never had the courage to start their own business and they strongly believe that it's better to have a job and it's
Yes.
better to than to work for yourself, and then
Yes.
you tell them, and they could be someone who loves you with all their heart. They
Yep.
and you're like, I'm going to start a business, blah, 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 blah. And then they're like, really? Are you sure you want to do that? Because having a
Yes.
job is way more stable and secure.
Yes.
And you don't know what you're getting into. Being an entrepreneur is 24 hours a day. And it's
100%.
like, okay. So in other words, you don't believe in me. But the truth is it's that they don't believe in themselves,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, 100%. I think I've shown that. Like, I didn't go traditional route. I had my kids, but then I went to college and I got a few college degrees. And then when I went through my whole physical health, which led me to my spiritual awakening, which led me to say, fuck it, I'm gonna go live in a van and travel the country.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I know people think I'm crazy. But I love my lifestyle more than anything. And
Mhm.
I love the idea of not being in a traditional job, sitting somewhere and being in one spot. Because for me, my blood is I need to be kind of moving around here and there.
Yeah.
And so if I listened to those people, I'd be depressed and I'd be sitting at home, not as far as I am in my business and crying,
Yeah.
being
And that's
upset.
and that's
Yes.
even just on like a more personal level, like w with me being a stripper. The whole of society thought I was making a
Mm.
bad decision,
Right.
and not
Right.
just my family. And so the fact that I actually loved my work, loved performing, didn't feel self-conscious naked on a stage in front of
Yeah.
people, felt like it was so creative and fun, made the best friendships, met the most incredible people,
That's awesome.
not just the customers who were all amazing, incredible people, but the other dancers who were like, all, you know, you have to be an entrepreneur to be in that business because you're
True.
self-employed. So very self-driven, self-motivated,
Sales.
creative people and who've all been stigmatized. So they're all very compassionate and caring and like these are incredible people. And society tells me that they're all degenerates, including me, that we're all being exploited, we're all being degraded. And if you internalize that, it's called internalized oppression. It's when you internalize
Yeah.
negative opinions of other
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
towards yourself.
Yeah.
That's so if you've heard someone saying, "Ooh, you have a bag," or if every time you tell someone people about your ostomy and they go, "Oh, I'm so sorry for you."
Yeah. Yeah.
Like those are horrible responses, but people don't even realize how rude it is when they do that.
Oh,
You
man,
know, they
when
don't.
I was working, I used to work at a police department, and one of my jobs there was running the front desk and, putting in things. And we had a woman that sat in the back, and her son had some kind of digestive thing going on, and he was going to have to get an ostomy. And I knew I had Crohn's at the time, didn't know I was getting an ostomy, years later, but she kept saying, and I still think this affects me to this day, is I heard her say repeatedly, he'll never be able to have sex again. No one's ever going to want to have sex with him. And she kept saying that. Like, so I was just like, and then I got an ostomy some years later. And I mean, it stuck with me, you
Yeah,
know?
it does. It does. And I thought it too. I thought it
Mm-hmm.
too.
Mm-hmm.
It's what was my first biggest fear about
Yeah.
getting an ostomy was that my partner at the time wouldn't want to be with me anymore. And our
Mm-hmm.
relationship didn't last much longer after the ostomy, but I don't believe that's what it was to do with.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but I could have internalized that. I could have said it's because of the ostomy our relationship didn't last. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's everything in our lives, every single thing in our lives is what we make it.
Yep.
It's what
Yep.
we believe it
It
is. So
is.
if you
It
think
is.
it, it's true. If you
And you
think,
create it.
yes, you create it.
Yep.
Totally.
Well, and that's so going back to what you said about like the positivity, the fake positivity.
Mhm.
I hate the term, but I'm going to say it. Fake it till you make it. Or is yeah, that is it. Fake it till you make it. But it is so true and it
Yeah.
actually works. And nobody wants to be fake. It's not about being a fake person. It's not about being somebody you're not. It's about like putting these things into your brain and rewiring those structures that have been repeating those bad things. Like, I'm
Mm.
broken. I can't trust anybody. I should have more done in my life. My body's breaking down. It's not working for me. When we think those things, we're going to bring more of it to, it's one of the universal laws.
Yes, it is.
You bring more in.
And it's not like you're pretending. You're not pretending when you stop your inner voice from saying, I'm broken, I'm a burden, I'm a piece of shit, I'm never going to be happy, no one's ever going to love me, no one's ever going to want this. Like all the things that we tell ourselves
Hmm.
when we try to stop telling ourselves that and we switch it to I'm enough, I'm
Yeah.
beautiful, I'm happy, I'm grateful, I'm lovable.
Yeah.
And we might not believe those things at first. It's not, but it doesn't mean we're pretending.
Right.
It's just changing our self-talk because literally 100% true, what we tell our subconscious, if we tell it enough, if we repeat it enough, our
Hmm.
subconscious will believe it. So
It will.
literally, if you tell yourself that you can fly and you
Yeah.
say every day, I can fly, I can fly, I can
Hmm.
fly, you won't be able to fly, but you will believe that you can fly because your subconscious
Yeah.
believes everything you tell it. So I'm not suggesting you tell yourself you can fly, but I am saying tell yourself, I am beautiful. I
Yep.
am mesmerizing. I am irresistible. I am a wonder to behold.
100%, 100%. And I think the hard part about people understanding this right now is because there's a lot of people who are coming out and starting to recognize that this is true, right? That we
Mhm.
can create these things. And it's being more mainstream. It's also being used in things that sometimes people don't like financial gain or things like that, like
Mhm.
people who are, making courses and doing these things. But because it's just people are starting to recognize that these things work and they want to share that with the world as we should. These are
Totally.
why we do this work, why people other people do this work is because we're people who, as woo woo as these things sound and as bullshit as it sounds, it actually works
It's actually true. It's actually scientifically proven to be true.
scientifically.
We
Yeah.
believe what we tell ourselves over and over and over again. And
Hmm.
so when
Hmm.
I started doing affirmations to change my beliefs about myself, I had all of these affirmations like, I am confident, I am
Yeah.
graceful, I am like all these
Yep.
things that I
Yep.
did not believe I was at all.
Yep.
But
Yep.
after I said them to myself every day, because I have a thing where I have like a little routine every morning and I do my affirmations, my personal
Yes.
constitution, my visualizations.
Hmm.
And then I start the day amazing when I do that, and it only
Yep.
takes like 5 to 10 minutes
Yep.
with my coffee.
Yep.
And it's like I couldn't believe that I actually got to the point where I really believe those things. So like my ex and I, before we broke up, we used to joke all the time about how conceited I was and how arrogant I was because I think I'm so amazing. And I'm like, but I am amazing,
Yes.
And I literally do. I mean, hate me if you want, hate me or love me. I
Hmm.
do think I'm awesome. I think
Yeah.
I'm lovable. I think I'm desirable. I think that any man that I end up dating or woman is lucky to date me
Hmm.
because I'm a wonderful person and I wouldn't believe any of those things about myself if I didn't change my self-talk. And I
Yeah.
think when people look at me and see they can see my confidence,
Yes.
and I've had so many people say to me, I want what you have. I want
Yes.
your confidence.
That's why I told you, like in the last episode,
Yeah.
you are magnetic.
Uh,
You
that was
have
one of my
that.
things.
Yes, and you show the confidence is the most beautiful piece. And I've said this before too, is there's something about you could take somebody who doesn't even like out on the street, doesn't even look that great, but if they have confidence, that looks a hell of a lot better than somebody who's needy and
Mhm.
self-conscious and
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And so
Well,
you
it's
have
energy,
that.
right?
Yeah, and
It's
it is.
energy.
It's energy.
So when
Yeah.
people are like, I'm always put in the friend zone, or like I'm never gonna have a girlfriend, or I'm never gonna have a boyfriend, or no one's ever gonna want to be with me and stuff like that. They're literally pushing people away with their energy
Yeah.
because they have those thoughts.
Yeah,
That's what the kind of thoughts they're gonna give to other people. So
for sure.
if like I'm out on a date with a guy and he starts being really like insecure and like that's unattractive to me
Yeah.
because I
So
can't be
unattractive.
with someone that I'm going to have to constantly reassure and constantly try to, make myself smaller so that they don't feel dwarfed by my energy because I'm confident, and
Yes.
so it's like that it's unattractive to
Yes, it's
be
so.
insecure, sadly.
Yeah.
And there's only one way to get confident. Yeah, you can fake it till you make it, and I've got lots of advice on faking confidence because I used to
Hmm.
be a stripper.
Hmm.
And you have your bad days, okay? And you
For
gotta
sure.
you still gotta drop your drawers on stage with that big zit
Right.
on your butt. Um, but it's like there's only one way to fix confidence, and it's self-talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%. You know, self-talk. One trick that I've recently learned, and I've done this before with like voice memos. If play, record yourself with whatever it is that you want to do, right? Like you want to, if you're just starting out, it's those I am statements, like you said, those I am confident, I am beautiful, I am. But when you get comfortable with those and you start believing those, you get even more intentional about it. And now you start writing your chapters of your life, right? So
Mm.
now you start saying, it doesn't have to be true. I am receiving money every month from sources I don't know where are coming from.
Yeah.
I am living my desired life with this beautiful man or woman. You get further into it, but you be detailed. And you put those in a voice memo and you go to bed listening to it. You record, you want it at least like 8 to 15 minutes long, and you record it. And there you'll start to see some changes. I mean, like I said, these things all take time. They do
Hmm.
take time. And the mirror work, that's another one, just looking in the mirror and talking to
Oh yeah.
yourself.
Yeah.
Especially when you're having insecurities about your body. Like that's a
Yeah.
really good one.
Well, something I
Um,
really encourage people with disabled bodies to do is to stand naked and look in the mirror and
yeah.
to try to not look at the one thing. Like with us, it could be the ostomy bag or the scars or um, for some women it might be stretch marks from their pregnancy,
Yeah.
or from men it could be like a open heart surgery scar, or it could
Yeah.
be different damage injuries from work or whatever. But looking at your whole self and
Yeah.
not just your whole body, but
Yeah.
like your personality, like when you're looking in the mirror, bring out your personality.
Yeah.
Be who you are. Like
Yeah.
smile at yourself, say something witty or dumb or
Yeah.
funny.
Yes.
But be yourself in the mirror because we have to stop like thinking of ourselves as these separate parts.
Hmm. Hmm.
Even our mind is not separate. Our
Right.
mind and our emotions are like the same energetic body.
Hmm.
They're just kind of opposite sides of the coin. The thoughts create the emotions create the thoughts.
Yeah.
But it's like we're a whole person, not a collection of parts.
Right.
And when people see us, they don't see one part of us.
Right. Exactly. It's that whole thing. It's like that
Yeah.
first impression thing, whether your breath smells, but you look amazing, yeah.
Like me right now.
Did you brush your teeth?
I did, but I think I have coffee breath.
I do too. Can you smell it?
Oh yeah. Oh
Damn
man.
it. No, that's good. That's all good stuff. I mean, honestly, like I think the first step is like the awareness of it.
Mhm.
You know, everything is awareness first, right?
Yes.
And it I think it takes time to realize that we're even talking negatively to ourselves.
That's one of the first things I notice when I ask my clients about their self-talk is they don't immediately recognize negative self-talk. They'll tell me how bad things are going and
Yes.
how hard they're struggling, and that's all self-talk right there.
Yeah.
But still,
Yes.
I do want them to tell me like what their
Right.
struggles are because that's the nature of our relationship.
Yeah.
But it gives me a hint of what they're telling themselves
Mm-hmm.
because but they
Mm-hmm.
don't realize what they're saying to themselves until they start paying attention and they start
Mm-hmm.
noticing, especially in those difficult moments. This is itchy. um especially in those difficult moments like when you're really struggling, like for
Yep.
me the hardest time to stay fake positive. The hardest time to stay positive is when I have another health episode,
Yeah.
something that's
Yeah.
got me in bed or in pain.
Yeah.
My head, that's a trigger. And
Yeah.
my head goes straight to I'm a burden, I'm unlovable, I'm a loser, like what I have to cancel all my plans with everyone
Yeah.
again and
Yeah.
embarrass
Yeah.
myself again and all
Yeah.
this shit.
Yeah.
And then but now I have the tools to stop
Hmm.
myself and
Hmm.
get through it. And now instead of saying those things, like as soon as my head goes there, I start saying things like this is temporary. This too shall pass. This
Yeah.
is, hold on, pain ends.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, I'm wonderful. I'm just a human being experiencing a human condition.
Temporary.
Um, and it's temporary and people love me. People
Hmm.
care about me.
Hmm.
People want to help. I don't have to feel bad about asking. People want to be
Yeah.
able to help me. They want me to ask.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's true. I want people to ask me for help if
For
they need
sure.
it,
Right.
right?
Right.
We all want the people we love to tell us if they need our help.
Yeah.
And yet
Definitely.
when we need help, we're scared to
Yeah.
ask.
Yeah. I know it's such a what's that twofold or whatever the word I'm looking for. I can't think of it.
Double standard in a way. Yeah,
Double edged sword kind of
maybe.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fun fact is that our conscious mind controls 5% of our thinking, which is logic, goals, intention, that kind of thing. Our subconscious mind controls 95% of like our thoughts, like habits, beliefs, the emotional responses, like I'm saying, which is why the subconscious mind, that part that we don't, that just doesn't always come to the forefront, is that active part of our brain that we need to learn how to rewire and restructure. And that's why these
Mhm.
things that we're talking about are so important because
Yes.
that's subconscious and it's becoming aware of that subconscious mind it's just going. It's going, it's going, it's going, it's going. And until you gain control of that, you're going to continue to have, you know, you're going to continue not only just that thinking it, but when you think it, you create it. When you
Mhm.
create it, you have more issues that you're gonna come up against in your health, in your family, in every aspect of your life. And so it's so important to gain that control, but it is through the steady work. It's through the steady repetition. It's through like Trina said, you've got your affirmations you read every day. You've got your things that you do even when you're somebody like Trina and I, who's been working at this for a while,
Mhm.
we still are going to run into daily things because contrast still always exists. There's always going to be contrast. It's just how going forward in your life, how do you want to react to the contrast?
Mhm.
I'm only just, I feel like even right now, like I'm we'll never be perfect, right? You said we're experiencing the human condition. We will never be perfect.
Mhm.
But it's that how can I live a better life and how can I experience better experiences? And it starts with that self-talk. It starts
Yeah.
with the subconscious beliefs.
Well, the subconscious mind, and that's so fascinating that you said that 95% of our beliefs and everything we do and think is controlled by our subconscious mind. And our subconscious mind believes everything we tell it.
Yeah.
So if we're giving it constant negative feedback, then
Hmm.
if the world sucks, if life sucks, if your relationship sucks, if your health sucks, if you suck, it's
Right.
all true. Your subconscious mind will believe it and it will be true. And
Hmm.
if your life is great and other people are, you know, they're fallible, but you can handle it and like,
Hmm.
let's just chill out, let's just
Yeah.
get along.
Yep.
If you're telling yourself this kind of feedback all of the time, then your subconscious beliefs are going to become laid back, chill,
Right.
not take things personally, not get so upset over everything. So yeah, subconscious beliefs all come from what you say to yourself.
Right.
And that's
Right.
all it is. And that's
Yeah.
100% a fact.
Yep.
So, and like, let's go into the whole detail of why that is. So, at our absolute base core of nothing, we are energy.
Hmm.
Everything's energy. The shelf's
Hmm.
energy, microphone's energy, computer's energy, glass that I'm drinking out of, energy, energy, energy.
Yep.
Everything at its smallest unit is energy. And so, and that's why our energy matters so much when we come into contact with other people.
Hmm. Hmm.
But so our subconscious is our energy, and our subconscious creates our world. So
Hmm.
we attract exactly what we think about into our lives and it through our energy because
Hmm.
everything else is energy and our thoughts are energy and what we think about it and our subconscious mind is
Yep.
energy and we're
Yep.
energy. So when we're feeding our subconscious mind negative energy, it's attracting
Yeah. Yep.
negative energy, and more shitty shit is going to happen
Yep.
to you.
Yep.
And when
Yep.
you are attracting good energy, even if shitty shit happens, you can handle it
Right.
because you know, oh, this is just going to be a temporary shitty energy thing that I have to go
Hmm.
through.
Hmm.
One way I
Which,
really, oh, sorry,
mhm.
go on.
No, no, go ahead.
I was just gonna say one way I really like to look at life is I've been going down the rabbit hole of simulation theory. And it's just basically like imagining, like describing how our universe works
Right.
through the idea of living in a video game.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
so if you were to imagine that before you were born, you chose all of the hardships that you were going to go through in your life. And the reason you're choosing these hardships is because you want to test yourself. You want to challenge yourself to get better and better at like become more spiritual, basically.
Hmm. Hmm.
And the only way to do that is to go through challenges. The only way to become better people is to go through suffering and go through challenges. Yeah, that
Hmm.
sucks. But when
Hmm.
people are like, why does God let so much
Yeah.
shit happen in the world? Well, because it's the only way we grow.
Yep.
It's the only way we grow, whether you be or
Earth
the
school.
universe. Yeah, you know, Earth School. So if we imagine that we chose our lives, and this is a way to reframe everything so that when you're
Hmm.
self-talking, you can look at it differently.
Yep.
And we chose the hardships we're going to go through in our life, and now we're here and we're going through these hardships. And you know how they say the definition of insanity is doing the same thing
Yeah.
over and over again and expecting different results.
Hmm.
Well, I look at that as like that's a level in the video game that
Hmm.
we can't conquer. And so we
Yeah.
have to keep doing that level over
Yep.
and over again
Yep.
until we learn the lesson, until we conquer that level and move
Yeah.
on to the next level.
The hero's journey.
Yeah. And we're all like the hero of our own stories. So
Yeah.
if we just be act like we're like not the main character
Hmm.
or give up or just let the hard difficult challenging moments of our lives destroy us, then we're never going to achieve that goal that we put ourselves on earth for, which is
Yeah.
to become better than we
Yeah.
were
Yep.
yesterday.
Yep. Do you listen to Dolores Cannon?
No, I don't. Should I?
Oh, she has this whole some of that. theory is what she
Oh yeah.
talks about in her she's passed now, but yeah, she's got a lot of books out um Earth School and that kind of thing and choosing before you came and that kind of thing.
Nice. Well, I'm
Yeah.
really into non-dual Shiva Tantra, which is like a an ancient Hindu belief or philosophy,
hmm
and it's non-dual, meaning that we don't have a guy in the sky. We don't have, like, God isn't separate from us. We're not separate from each other. We're not even separate from the physical objects that are around us because we're all created and made of the exact same energy, and that's
hmm
God energy.
hmm
And so it's like this, the universe is God, and each one of us, including the table and the wall and everything that exists, is a different aspect of God,
hmm
expressing only those aspects of God and none of the other aspects of God. And
mm
so, as humans, each of us is expressing aspects of God, but only the ones that we express and none of the other ones, you know?
mm
So, and then that way we also think of like diseases are God, suffering is God, you know,
Yeah.
horrendous tragedies are God. Everything
Right.
is God because everything is God experiencing the possibilities of existence through
Right.
us, through
Right.
every solid or
Yep.
seemingly solid
Yep.
thing, you know?
Yep.
And for me, that's very similar to the video game theory where we're all in this, you know, this kind of illusion. The
The
world
Truman
is,
Show.
yeah, the world is an illusion.
Yep.
And what we really are at our core is we're all connected and
Yeah.
we're all of the same energy. And it
Yeah.
is our belief that we're separate
Yeah.
that
We're not. Yeah.
causes all our suffering.
Our conscious minds are connected. Actually, have you heard of the 100th monkey effect?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so there were 100 monkeys or 99 monkeys or something like this on an island, and um, they all decided to do something, whatever it was. It was a move or it was something. It was something that they were doing that was different than the monkey on the other island. But that monkey on the other island learned that trait through the subconscious pr of what they were doing. So what they
Oh,
did,
okay. Yeah, I think I might have heard of this before.
yeah, and
Sorry.
I'm not saying it completely
Yeah.
right, but it's something like that
Hmm.
because that one monkey picked up on the consciousness of the other monkeys.
Yes. Yeah, this
Not
has been
subconscious, but
proven
the
in
conscious.
quantum physics that also generationally that we carry like a lot of the same fears, traumas, like there's
hmm
generational
Generational trauma.
trauma
It
that
goes back like
this is
14 generations.
this has all also been proven through quantum physics. There's so much crazy, incredible, interesting stuff that you learn
It is
through that study.
back when I used to do more meditation than I do now, I was going through my spiritual awakening and I had that thought that I finally realized that there was this generational trauma, right? And I figured it out, and I was specifically thinking about like slave days, right? And the slavery that the when the Africans were brought here and made to work on the cotton fields, and so I was thinking about that, and then I it came to me, but then it was more recent that these studies like started coming out more and talking about it. And I'm like, thank God I wasn't just like going crazy. But when
Mhm.
you connect into your subconscious mind and your conscious starts picking up on these things, this is when you tap into these intuitive thoughts and you tap into, thoughts sometimes you don't want to think of, right? Like
Mhm.
the things that other people are thinking of. Like that's why fear, that's why we have media, because media likes to go out there and throw out these negative things, right? We need to talk about more positive things. If we talk about more positive things, the people here on this planet will start to feel more positivity. Okay, it's
Mhm.
kind of like gratitude list. When you have your gratitude list, like even when you're experiencing the health, the body problems, the physical, the emotional, the relationship, when you're going through all these things and nothing feels good, if you have a list that you can go back to and you can read and you can remember all the things that you are grateful for. I'm grateful for the trees right here because
Mhm.
they're beautiful and I get to look at them every day. Everything else may feel crappy and shitty and like things are blowing up, right? But I can remember that no, I'm happy. I get to look at these beautiful trees. I get to look at all these great things. And it shifts your mind. It's huge.
Mhm.
It's huge.
Gratitude totally shifts your mind.
Mm.
It does. I mean, almost every time I feel sick or go through something hard now, because of the most horrible things I've been through, I actually will say to myself, this isn't the worst thing you've ever been through, Trina. You survived that,
100%.
you can survive this, you know?
Exactly.
Like
Nope.
even that is just a reframe. It's a shift from poor me to I can handle this.
Yeah,
I've done it before and I'll do it again.
exactly.
And also, we only need to get through one thing at a time. Like, instead of worrying about the future, that's another self-talk thing.
Oh,
Is we worry
oh,
about the future or we worry about the past. And those are like, well, in quantum physics, they don't even exist.
no, no. All we have is right now, right
Yeah.
this moment.
Well, like the future can determine the past and the past can determine the future and blah, blah,
Definitely.
blah. It's kind of crazy, but it's like all all we are experiencing is what we're experiencing right in this moment.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And everything else is just a memory. So it's just
Mm-hmm.
a recollection of something that, we've experienced before. And
Mm-hmm.
it's going to bring trauma, it's going to bring triggers like it does for all of us.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
matter how much self-talk we do, there's going
No.
to be things that will bring up old bad feelings or remind us of a hard or difficult time. And
Yep.
sometimes that's just that's us figuring out that there's something we need to work on about
Mm-hmm.
ourselves. Like for
Mm-hmm.
me,
Shadow.
crying at, the last episode we did, I talked about crying over something that happened with another couple, but reminded me of a painful time in my life. And then when that happened, I realized I need to cry about this. Like this
Yeah.
is something I need to work through.
Yep. You
And
you had
and
the
yeah.
awareness. You had the awareness. You didn't stay there. You didn't stay
Hmm.
stuck there.
No.
And now it's something that you're like, like, okay, I need to work on this a little bit.
Yeah.
That's exactly where we want to be.
I mean,
That's
that's the biggest
exactly.
thing that someone has to do if they're really stuck in negative self-talk and negative
Hmm.
subconscious beliefs is to make a choice
Hmm.
that I'm not going to live like this anymore. I
Yeah.
don't want to be like this anymore. I don't want to live like this anymore. I'm going to do 5 or 10 minutes a day of this work to become who I'm meant
Yeah.
to be.
Yeah.
And we're
Yeah.
we're all here to learn something and help other people. That's
Yes.
really why we're here.
Yeah. Yeah.
So whatever it is that you're supposed to learn, maybe you've already learned it, maybe you still need to learn it, but that is your purpose. You have something
Hmm.
that you need to learn that you can teach other people
Hmm.
and help
Hmm.
other people and be there for other people.
Yep.
It might not be your job,
Yeah.
it might not
Yeah.
be your job that's your purpose. It might just
Right.
be like for me, my purpose is to be a writer. And so
Yeah.
I didn't start self-publishing books until the last like 5 or 6 years, 5 years.
Nice.
Um,
Nice.
and not even 5 years, but yeah, 23, 22, or 23, 24, 25, 20. Yeah, 3 years, 3 or 4 years. We're almost in 2026.
I
Woo!
know it's crazy.
Yeah. So, and so I wasn't living my purpose my whole life,
Hmm.
but I wasn't like God kept me here. God kept
Yeah.
me around,
Yeah. Oh,
I did,
I feel you on that. It's
yeah, right? I
it's
think a
come
lot of people
close.
who have ostomies have been in the same position as us where maybe we might not have survived, but we did, and there's a reason we survived.
Hmm.
And
And
it's not
that's
to be miserable.
you're right, and it's not to be miserable with your ostomy either, you know?
Yeah.
It's not to be in that self-pity. It's to grab life by the balls and realize that we're moving forward. We're gonna
Yes.
keep going, and we might as well enjoy it while we're here, you know?
Yeah.
There's so much
100%.
to live for. There's so much to see and do, and a bag isn't gonna like take any of that away. It may hinder things for a while. It may hold things up. Whatever disability you're experiencing, it may take a chunk of your life out, but embrace that chunk of your life. You
Mhm.
know, I I embraced that time when I just went through the car accident. I didn't get to move
Because you
for,
were in a new frame of mind this
I had
time.
no a new frame of mind. I didn't have
Yeah.
to, there was no pity. There was no pity party. Well, I went there a few times,
Yeah.
but then, you face it, you recognize it, you move
Pull up
on.
your
And you,
big girl panties,
yep,
your big girl ostomy
or your
panties.
ostomy innovations panties.
I was just gonna say you pull them up and you just keep on going
You
because
wear those
yeah.
95% bamboo, 5% spandex underwear and you move on, okay? That
Link
was
in
perfect.
comments.
Link in the comments below. But yeah, it's a beautiful life. It's a beautiful experience. And we learn, we adapt, and we grow. And there's I think I know for Trina and I both have, it's not just these affirmations, it's not just the gratitude, but there's so many other ways to get back into rewiring and reshaping your mind that we can probably talk hours and hours and hours about.
Hmm.
But those are kind of like that's the basics. That's the basics.
Hmm.
It's the recognizing it. It's the, reframing it. It's
Hmm.
it's seeing yourself differently, because ultimately, when you see yourself differently, everybody else
Yes.
starts to see you
People
differently.
treat you and see you the way you see yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a
Mm-hmm.
Beyonce quote. And I don't love Beyonce, but
I don't either.
that's an amazing quote. People see you and treat you the way you see yourself and treat yourself. That's
Mm,
100% true.
I love
If
that.
you want to, if our audience wants to start doing this right now, I would suggest two things. First, start catching your negative talk,
Yes.
self-talk. That's the number one. Like you got to become aware of it. So when you're doing it, when you're like, "Oh my God, I'm stupid," or
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, or I don't want to go to this event because everybody there is just going to hate me or they're going to
Yeah.
think I'm a loser," or
Yep.
whatever it is that's going,
Yep.
you stop yourself and you change it to the opposite, even if
Yep.
you don't believe it. I'm going
Yep.
to go to this party and everyone's going to think I'm the coolest person there. And
Yes.
sometimes like I often will change something I say to positive and I try to make it like funny because when you have an positive emotional reaction to the positive affirmation, then
Mm-hmm.
your subconscious like it's stronger,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So because you're having a positive emotion attached to
Mm-hmm.
it. So
Mm-hmm.
like I used to say, I'm in pain. And I couldn't stop myself. I would get halfway through the sentence before I realized I was saying it again. And so
Yeah.
I started changing it to I'm in gain. And it
Nice.
sounds weird. It doesn't make any sense in a way.
No,
I'm
that
in
makes
gain,
sense. Yeah.
So it made me laugh because like I'm in gain as I'm
Yeah.
walking up the stairs like this. I'm in gain. I'm in gain. I would start laughing, right? But it also made me think of money coming to me. It just made me think of money coming to me. So I was
Yeah.
like, this is good. I'm attracting money and I'm changing my
Getting
negative
better.
self-talk at the same
Mm-hmm.
time. So that's
Mm-hmm.
number one, catch yourself and then change it to
Yep.
a positive, like
Reframe it.
yeah, reframe it like Nicole has been saying. And number two, what Nicole and I also talked about is creating an affirmation list. I
Mm-hmm.
am, and then
Mm-hmm.
everything you want to be. I
Yep.
am this, I am this, I am this. I am brave, I'm
Yep.
courageous, I am
Yep.
smart, I am
Yep.
healthy, I am, you know,
All the things you want to be.
yes, everything you
And they
want to be.
and they say you can be delusional.
Yeah, I
Be
have on
delusional.
mine that I'm a billionaire, and
Yeah.
I'm not a billionaire yet.
Right. Not yet.
But I feel like a billionaire because
Yeah.
I say it every
Well,
day.
you look like it too. You're wearing this
I know,
like,
right? My bling.
yeah, you're bling.
I also say I am healed. which
I
to
say that
me,
one all the time.
yeah, which to me just means no more hospital visits, please.
Yeah.
And even
Yeah.
though I've been saying it for years and I've been in the hospital quite a few times, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be healed or you're going to
Right.
be a billionaire or you're going
Right.
to be, say you're like extremely skinny and you want to be extremely overweight. You may
Yeah.
not ever be overweight and you may not
Right.
ever be totally skinny. Um, like I'm not saying don't enact healthy things in your life to get to try and reach those goals if you want, but you don't need to reach those goals to have
Yeah.
confidence. You don't
Yeah.
need to reach those goals, those like health or weight or um, how you look
Beauty.
goals. Yeah, beauty goals
Hmm.
don't need to be reached for you to be confident. It's
Right.
it's kind of shocking, but
Well,
all it needs is the self-talk and the affirmations.
right. And two, once you start doing this, you just start to gain more confidence that some of those things that you kind of wish for or hope for don't really they don't really hold any value anyways because
Yeah.
they're things that were not important anymore. And so
Yeah.
you start to see yourself differently anyways.
Well, like I would still want to be a billionaire, but
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't need to be a billionaire to be
Right.
happy.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so happy. But I know I can be happy poor because I've been poor a lot in my life. And that's never stood in my way. My health was my biggest challenge.
Yeah.
I felt very sorry for myself for a long time, and I put like my family through it.
Yeah.
Just all the crying and feeling bad for
Yeah.
myself and asking why me
Yeah.
um and I didn't have anyone to provide a container for me,
Hmm.
a safe container where I
Yeah.
could kind of like fall apart and then
Yeah.
put myself back together again.
Yeah.
Instead, what I got was a lot of like coldness when I would break down.
Yeah.
So instead of me kind of healing through it and working through it, I would became hardened,
Oh yeah.
you know.
Hardened and rigid and yeah.
Yeah, so
And
I'm still working on that, as we know
yeah.
from the last episode,
Well, we're
you
all
know?
we're like you said, we're humans. We're experiencing the human condition. We'll never be Jesus or Buddha, who were enlightened beings who walk the earth and, and could exude that. We're trying to be as close as we can to those things, but we'll never be that because we
Mhm.
are here on this earth school experiencing the human condition.
Yeah,
There
and
will be
we're
contrast.
experiencing ourselves as separate. We're
Hmm.
exper like they call it different religions call it different things, but you know, the forgetting that happens when we're born. We forgot our
Hmm.
past life. We forgot where we were before we were born.
Hmm.
We forget everything. We're born into this existence, and now
Hmm.
we're going to live it through to the end of this existence. And we
Yeah.
all, not all of us, but I believe that we don't stop existing just because our body
Right.
gets older and breaks down, and
Breaks down.
that
Hmm.
this is just part of God experiencing itself, himself, herself
Yeah.
through each of
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
And so we're always going to have hard times. We're
Yeah.
always going to, those video game levels are going to get harder and harder and harder, as you know, Nicole. And you got to this level of, I'm in a car accident, I might never walk again, like I'm lucky to be alive. And you actually like raced through that level because the previous levels you learned what you're supposed to do in that situation.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's not spiral into self-pity.
No,
That's not the right thing to do.
but I still focused on the pain for a while too. And once I left that spot and I said, okay, I got to get out of here. I have an opportunity to come up to get out of here. Once I got out of that situation where I was like bedridden, wasn't moving much, was in a lot of pain, and I physically moved my body out of that spot and started moving more, miraculously,
Mhm.
miraculously, my pain level went from, you know, 6 or 7 daily down to like a one or two, not even every day.
Because you made a
So,
conscious decision to move from that pain into a new
yep,
experience of what you're going through.
yep, yep. And that was a big lesson right there. That was a huge lesson because it
Mhm.
tested my faith. It tested my knowledge of all the things that I talk about, tell other people
Yeah.
to do.
And
And
that's the
that's
other thing
huge.
too. Sorry for interrupting.
No, you
Um,
didn't.
it just made me think like that's the other thing too, that anyone who's listening right now might be feeling bad about themselves because they are stuck. They are stuck in that mind prison of feeling sorry for themselves or feeling not good enough or feeling like life isn't worth living or it'll never get better, which are all negative self-talk beliefs.
Yep.
But those, don't feel bad about it. Don't feel
Right.
like there's something wrong with me because I
No,
can't get over this. There's something
no.
wrong with me because now if you do that, then you're also continuing that negative spiral of negative self-talk. So don't let yourself feel bad about where you are. Just make a conscious decision
Yeah.
that you're going to move through this and
Yep.
come out to something better. And it
Yep.
takes practice. That's why they call it
Practice and
spiritual
time.
practice because you
Yep.
can't just become confident and then
Yep.
there you're done. It doesn't work that way.
Yep.
It requires you to every day practice catching
Yep.
your self-talk
Yep.
and every day, even if you don't read it on a list in the mornings like I do, but every
Yep.
day thinking or saying your affirmations. Like I have them on my fridge too, so that when I'm in the house or even if one of my kids or a guest is looking at my fridge, they start
Mm-hmm.
saying it in their head,
Yep.
then they're getting those subconscious beliefs without them even realizing it.
Yeah. And if,
You know?
and if you can't think of anything positive to say, maybe just write positive self-talk on a note, on a piece of paper, on a
Yeah.
sticky note, and stick that up. It'll at least remind you to start thinking
Yes.
of things. And if
Yes.
you don't resonate with what we're saying at all, because you think, well, that this can't work, this doesn't work, that's okay too. But I'm I would have thought that many years ago too. I would have thought this was like, there's no way. This sounds incredibly insane. There's no way. There's no way. But
But look
I'm
at
here to
us, we're proof
proof
because
of
we were
it.
both in that. We both were people who were stuck there.
Hmm.
You know,
For so, I mean, for most of my life,
we were
for
living
most of
there.
it.
Me
Yeah.
too. Me too.
Yeah.
I was so like pissed off at like I hated rich people because I was poor. It's
Oh, yeah.
just so many
Yeah. No,
so many things I could mention about I believed like how people say once a cheater, always a cheater.
yeah.
Once a woman beater, always a woman beater.
Yeah.
Like different rules that
Yeah.
you just like
Well,
and
society told you.
yeah, society or your mother or your father or your
Hmm.
cousin or your best friend or
Yeah.
whatever. And that's another thing I've learned is that every person has the ability to change.
Oh, yeah.
Every
Yep.
person.
I believe
So
that
that
too.
doesn't mean I'm saying like, so just stay with your partner no matter how many times they
Right.
cheat on you or whatever.
Yeah.
If it's destroying you, like, don't do that. But
Right.
I'm just saying that we don't have to just believe that we can't change
Yep.
because it's so hard.
Yep.
The
I agree.
funniest thing about it is when you do start doing this work, even though it might take a long time to get to the point where you feel confident and where you're catching yourself a lot, you will see that it has immediate effects.
Yeah.
Like immediately you'll start feeling better. Immediately you'll
Hmm.
start feeling lighter,
Hmm.
more optimistic, and having more hope just by catching your self-talk and by doing positive affirmations.
100%. And then by doing this work, it opens up the door to so much other
Mhm.
mind shift and mindset, mind work experiences that will shift other things in your life. This is kind of like the baseline, but it opens up the door to so much more. And
Baseline,
oh
exactly.
gosh, I
Yeah,
could go
baseline,
on
I
and on.
agree. The most important thing, like before everything else in my coaching is the most foundational thing is the self-talk
Yeah. Yeah.
because that for every single person is the biggest block
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
every
Because you're
single
not going to
person.
change anything until you change your thought process,
Yes.
health, everything.
Hmm. And if you need support, then you've got two coaches right here you can reach out to. We're both good at what we do and we love helping people and we're actually really affordable. Um,
Yes.
I have like a really amazing deal on right now and
Yes.
and I can also work within budgets. So
Yes.
So please reach out for a free coaching session if you want to just talk about your stuff to me or Nicole, and
Yep.
then and we will pitch our programs to you. Um,
Yes.
but there's no pressure to join,
Right.
and
Yeah,
but
just
we're
hear what
here
we
to
have to
support you.
hear what we have to say, hear what we
Yeah,
have to
I've
offer
had
and
people walk away and
help you.
say, I learned so much just from this foundational call, this foundational session that I'm going to move forward and use this, and I'm not going to access your services at this time,
Yeah.
your coaching services. And I'm just thrilled that it helps someone. That's
Right.
all I care about.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing. And people who take my coaching program do it because they want to go deeper and
Mm-hmm.
they feel that I'm the person who can help them.
Yeah.
So that's something that a person would have to make their own decision about, and I would never
Yeah.
pressure them.
Yeah.
And also before we do say goodbye, I want to make sure you go into the description and follow our personal YouTube pages. We're also on Instagram, Facebook,
Yep.
and
Instagram,
Instagram,
Facebook,
Facebook, YouTube.
YouTube.
I even just started a TikTok because my daughter told me to. I'm not sure if I like it yet.
I did a couple videos 2 different times, but
I
I
think I'm too
can't.
old for TikTok.
I think I am too. It's just like Snapchat. I never had Snapchat.
I
Like,
I did a long time ago, but then they changed how it worked, and now I don't know how it works, and I'm just like,
oh,
eh.
I would have no idea. I'm just going to stick to what I know at this point. And speaking of, our next episode is going to be, I wrote it down, sex and disabilities. Teach, we're going to teach how to be a good lover, whether you're with a man or a woman.
Yes. So this is we're going to be celebrating New Year's, and for everybody's New Year, we're going to make sure you've turned into an amazing lover. So we are going to be talking about,
You, a lady in the street,
everything.
but a freak in the bed.
No, in the sheet.
Oh, that's what I meant. Oops. A lady in the, say it.
Street,
You say it.
lady in the street, but a freak in the sheets.
Ah, there we go.
So we're going to talk not just about like having disabilities and how it can impact having sex. We're also going to talk about people who can't even have sex,
Hmm.
how
Hmm.
you get around that, how you still have sexy time without penetrative
Ooh.
sex,
Hmm.
and without putting the pickle in the pantry. That's what I said in one of my videos. It was so funny. Anyway, and then we're going to talk about insecurities. Like
Hmm.
if you have an ostomy, I think we'll probably spend some time talking about like what happens if your bag farts
Yeah.
when you're in the bedroom, or
Mm.
what if you have a leak. So we'll talk about that kind of stuff. And we will talk about some of the challenges that people have in the bedroom
Hmm.
because a lot of people with ostomies, especially if you've had proctectomy surgery.
Yeah.
But we'll also teach you how to be a good lover. So how to please a man in the bedroom and how to please a woman in the bedroom. That way, the next time you go into the bedroom after you watch this episode, you will be confident about your disability, but also about your ability.
Nice. I mean, disclaimer, it's been a little while for me, but I still have some suggestions, especially for ostomates, because it's been a lot of thought and planning on my end. So,
Yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
yeah, yeah.
I'm not really doing the pickle in the pantry lately anyway, but I do really, as an intimacy coach, I really have a lot of understanding and knowledge of this subject, and it's one of
Yeah,
my favorite things to talk about. And I
love that.
really love helping people become better lovers because,
Yeah. What
right?
makes the world a better
It
place?
does. Let's just
Yeah.
spread pleasure and love everywhere we go.
Yeah. Anytime you're spreading that the hugs and the loves and the high fives and all the good things, you're creating the better world for everybody. So,
Yes, like the energetic, you're putting out that
mhm.
amazing energy, and
Energetic
it's not
transference.
just the people who were having that little energetic fun in the bedroom who are feeling good afterwards. It's spreads out
Yes,
into
it does. It's just
the
like
world.
smiling at a stranger. You smile at a stranger, and you might have just made that person's day.
Yeah, and then they'll smile at someone, and
And
then
then
they'll
they'll,
smile at someone,
yeah,
and it's contagious.
it's
We're
contagious.
make something sexual contagious, and it's not a disease.
Oh. Love it. Perfect.
Thank
This is
you
a
so
great
much.
episode. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
This is good. I'm glad we had this talk. I love this talk. This is one of my favorites. So
I hope people say in the comments whether they liked this episode and what they liked best about it, and if there's anything that they would love for us to talk about that we didn't talk about. And if you have any personal specific problems that you want to discuss with Nicole or I, please feel free to reach out personally or even make a comment, and we will, connect with you, and you can give
yeah,
you our information if you want to reach out personally, and we can
and
help
and uh
you.
and subscribe and like the video, please.
Yes.
Perfect.
Till next time.
Till next time. See ya.
Merry Christmas.
Feliz Navidad.